The fruit hiding in plain sight. In this video, I'll share 3 powerful reasons you should start eating apples every day for stronger bones, and the last one will absolutely shock you. But first, let me ask you something from the heart. Have you ever felt like your body was slowly slipping away from you? Maybe you wake up some mornings and the first thing you feel is that familiar ache in your back, or knees, or hips. You try to stand up a little straighter, but something just doesn't feel right. You used to be able to walk without thinking. Now, you hold the handrail just a little tighter when going down the stairs. You plan your day around how much standing or walking you can manage. And maybe, just maybe, you've even had that scary moment when your balance gave out, and you almost fell. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 are quietly dealing with weak bones, aching joints, and the constant fear of falling. And let's be honest, it's not just about the pain. It's the fear of losing our independence, of being told we can't live on our own anymore, of not being able to play with our grandkids' garden like we used to, or even just take a nice evening walk without worrying about a bad step. But what if I told you that something as simple as eating an apple every single day could help protect your bones in a way you've probably never heard before? That's not just an old saying. That's science. Real solid science. Today I'm going to walk with you heart to heart and show you 3 powerful reasons why apples are one of the most underrated superfoods for bone health, especially after 60. And trust me, the 3rd reason is going to make your jaw drop, so let's take this journey together. No gimmicks. No fancy diets. Just a simple, wholesome fruit that's been sitting in your kitchen this whole time, quietly holding the power to strengthen your bones and maybe even change the way you age. Let's begin. Here's the first powerful reason why apples are so good for your bones. 1. Apples are rich in a little-known compound called floridzin. Now, I know floridzin sounds like something out of a chemistry book, but stay with me here. This natural compound is found almost exclusively in apples, especially in the peel. And what it does is nothing short of incredible. Floridzin helps your body hold on to calcium. You know, the same calcium we've been told to get more of as we age because our bones get thinner and more fragile over time. Well, here's the catch: not everyone realizes that keeping the calcium in your body is just as important as getting it in the first place. See, as we get older, our kidneys start to work differently. We lose more calcium in our urine. That means even if you're eating dairy or taking a calcium supplement, a lot of it might be slipping right through you. But floridzin helps your body keep that calcium. It tells your kidneys to stop flushing so much of it away. And when that calcium stays in your system, guess where it goes? That's right, your bones. It's like giving your bones a second chance. A way to rebuild. To get a little stronger day by day. And that's just from eating an apple. It's not a miracle pill. It's not some imported exotic fruit from the other side of the world. It's an apple. Something your grandmother probably kept in a bowl on the table. And maybe now you're thinking, well, I already eat apples sometimes. And that's great. But the key is consistency. 1 apple a day. That's it. With the peel on, because that's where the magic is. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I spoke to a sweet woman named Helen. She's 72 and had been dealing with brittle bones for years. She told me she was scared of breaking a hip because she saw what happened to her sister after a bad fall. So she started doing everything she could to strengthen her bones. Exercise, yes. Supplements, yes. But when she added an apple every morning to her breakfast, just 1 apple every day, she told me something changed. It wasn't overnight. But after a few months, she went in for a checkup, and her doctor said her bone density had improved. Not dramatically, but noticeably. And the best part? She said she felt more confident, more stable on her feet, like her body wasn't betraying her anymore. Now, maybe that was the apple. Maybe it was the whole combination. But what if that apple was the missing piece? Now let's talk about the second reason, and this one's really important, too. Apples fight inflammation, which silently destroys your bones. Here's something most people don't know. Chronic inflammation is one of the sneakiest reasons why our bones get weaker with age. You might not feel it, but if you've got inflammation in your body, maybe from arthritis, gut issues, stress, or even poor diet, it's quietly damaging the cells that help build bone. Over time, this low-level, hidden inflammation wears away at your bone tissue. It weakens the support structure. It slows down your body's natural repair system. And that's why sometimes, even if you're doing all the right things, your bones still feel like they're crumbling. But apples contain antioxidants, especially a group called polyphenol, that fight back against inflammation. Think of it like this. Every time you eat an apple, it's like sending tiny little peacekeepers into your body. They calm things down. They soothe the inflamed tissues. They help your cells get back to work repairing what needs to be fixed. This is especially powerful if you have osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, two conditions that go hand in hand with bone problems. Apples won't cure them, of course, but they can ease the internal fire that makes everything worse. And again, it's just an apple. No side effects. No complicated recipes. Just wash it and eat it. That I know it might sound too simple. We're so used to thinking that solutions have to be complicated. But sometimes nature gives us something gentle and powerful at the same time. And I want to say this from my heart to yours. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've been handed diagnosis after diagnosis, if you're tired of pills and doctors and long lists of things to avoid, just know you're not alone. You're not broken. You're not past the point of healing. And there are small steps you can take right here, right now. An apple a day might not seem like much, but when it becomes a daily act of love for your body, it can lead to real change. And now here it is. The third reason. The one that shocked me when I first read the research. Point 3. Eating apples may reduce your risk of falling and fracturing a bone by improving your balance and brain health. Let me explain. New studies have found that people who eat more flavonoid-rich foods like apples have better cognitive function as they age. That means sharper thinking, better focus, and yes, even improved coordination and balance. And that's not just about avoiding forgetfulness. It's about preventing falls. See, your brain and your body are deeply connected. When your brain is firing on all cylinders, your reaction time is faster. Your sense of direction is sharper. Your awareness of where your body is in space, something called proprioception, is stronger. That's what helps you catch yourself when you trip. That's what helps you stay upright when the sidewalk is uneven. That's what lets you walk confidently without staring down at your feet. Now, flavonoids, the natural compounds in apples, nourish your brain. They protect it from aging. They improve circulation. They even support the growth of new neurons. So while most people are out there looking for magic pills to protect their bones, they're missing the bigger picture. It's not just about your bones, it's about your brain. Your balance. Your whole body working together. And when that happens, something beautiful starts to return. Confidence. That steady, quiet confidence you had when you were younger. The kind that lets you walk without fear. The kind that gives you your life back. That's the gift of an apple. So now you know. Point 3 powerful reasons why this humble fruit can make a huge difference after 60. It helps your body keep the calcium you already have. It fights the inflammation that slowly weakens your bones. It supports your brain and balance, helping prevent falls and fractures. And all of this from something as simple, affordable, and delicious as an apple. But here's the key. You have to make it a habit. 1 apple a day. Every day. With the peel. Doesn't matter if it's red, green, sweet, or tart. What matters is the consistency. You deserve strong bones. You deserve to feel steady and safe in your own body. You deserve to age with confidence, not feared. So next time you're at the grocery store, pick up a few apples. Let that be your quiet revolution. Your small but mighty step toward better health. And if you're still with me right now, I want to say thank you. For caring. For showing up for yourself. For being willing to listen and try. Because this is more than just about food. It's about reclaiming your strength one bite at a time. The hidden connection between apples and aging bones. So now that we've talked about why apples can be so powerful for your bones, let's go a little deeper. Because here's the truth most people don't realize. Bone health isn't just about bones. It's about your whole body. And as we age, especially after 60, everything becomes connected in ways we didn't expect. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever had a day where your body just feels fragile? Not just stiff, not just sore, but fragile. Like you're one wrong move away from something going wrong. Maybe it's when you're stepping into the shower, or walking across a parking lot, or even just getting out of a chair. It's not just the physical fear of falling. It's the emotional weight that comes with it. The thought, what if I fall and can't get back up? What if I break something? What if that's the beginning of the end? I know that sounds dramatic, but I've heard this exact fear from so many people I care about. And if that's something you've felt in your own quiet moments, please know. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. It's human. It's honest. And it means you care about your independence, your safety, your dignity. Now, here's where apples come back into the story in a truly surprising way. Because believe it or not, the nutrients in apples help protect not just your bones, but the very systems that hold your bones together. Let me explain. Apples help support the muscles and connective tissue that keep you strong and stable. We often talk about bones as if they work alone. But they don't. Your skeleton is only as strong as the muscles, ligaments, and tendons that support it. And as we get older, our muscle mass starts to shrink. This is a normal part of aging called sarcopenia, but it can become a serious problem if we don't fight back. And here's where apples come in. They're a great source of vitamin C, which doesn't just fight colds, it's crucial for making collagen. Now, collagen is what gives your skin its elasticity, but it's also what keeps your joints flexible, your tendons strong, and your muscles connected to your bones. Without it, everything starts to loosen, weaken, and become more prone to injury. Vitamin C is also essential for repairing micro tears in your muscles after activity. So if you're doing gentle exercises like walking, yoga, or light strength training, which you should be doing for bone health, apples help your body recover and rebuild faster. In fact, people with higher levels of vitamin C have been shown in studies to have greater bone mineral density than those with low levels. That's huge. And you know what's beautiful about apples? They give you this support without loading you up with sugar like some other fruits. They're gentle on your blood sugar levels, especially when you eat them with the peel, so you're not just getting a sweet snack. You're getting muscle support, joint support, connective tissue support, all in one crisp, crunchy bite. But let's take this even deeper. There's another part of aging most people don't talk about. But we're going to talk about it now, because you deserve the full truth. Bone loss often goes hand in hand with digestive issues. After 60, many people start to experience problems with their digestion. Maybe it's constipation. Maybe it's gas, bloating, acid reflux. Maybe it's that feeling that your stomach just doesn't work like it used to. Here's what most people don't realize. If your digestion isn't working properly, your body can't absorb the nutrients it needs to protect your bones. So even if you're eating well, even if you're taking calcium or vitamin D supplements, your gut might not be absorbing those nutrients. They're just passing right through you. That's why gut health is a hidden key to bone health. And guess what? Apples are incredible for your gut. They contain something called pectin, a type of soluble fiber that helps feed the good bacteria in your intestines. This helps balance your gut microbiome, which is essential for digestion, immune function, and yes, nutrient absorption. A healthy gut can better absorb calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all essential for maintaining bone density. And here's the amazing part. Apples do all this gently. No harsh fiber supplements. No complicated probiotics. Just one apple a day, giving your digestive system the support it needs to actually use the nutrients you're already eating. And if you've been struggling with constipation, apples can be a game changer. The natural fiber helps get things moving without being harsh or irritating. That may not sound glamorous, but anyone who's struggled with gut issues knows. When your digestion works, everything feels better. You move easier. You sleep better. You think more clearly. And yes, your bones get the nutrients they need to stay strong. Let's pause here for a second because I want to speak directly to you. You might be thinking, okay, this all sounds good. But is one apple really going to make that big of a difference? I get it. We've been conditioned to think that health has to come from prescriptions, powders, or some expensive program. But what if the real power comes from small, consistent choices? What if healing isn't a sprint but a slow and steady walk made up of little things like eating an apple every morning? You are not too old to get stronger. You are not too far gone to feel better. Your bones, your muscles, your gut, they are still listening, still responding, still capable of healing. And apples, this simple fruit from the earth, may be one of the quiet, humble tools to help you do just that. So if you've been feeling discouraged, like nothing is working, like your body is slipping away from you, I want you to take this moment to breathe. And know this, you can start again, right now, with something as simple as adding an apple to your day. Because it's not just about apples, it's about believing that your body is still yours, that you're still in the driver's seat, that healing is possible even now. How to make apples a daily habit and unlock even more bone-strengthening power. Now that we've seen how apples can help your bones in not one, not two, but three incredible ways by preserving calcium, reducing inflammation, and supporting both your muscles and digestion, let's talk about the most important part. How do we actually make this a habit for life? Because knowing something is good for you is one thing. But doing it every day? That's the real challenge, isn't it? So in this final chapter, we're going to talk about how to make apples a joyful part of your routine, not a chore. And I'll also share a few creative ways to get even more benefits from this everyday fruit. Let's walk through this step by step. First things first, start with what you love. This may sound simple, but it's important. Pick an apple variety you enjoy eating. Some people love the crisp sweetness of Honeycrisp or Fuji. Others prefer the tart bite of a Granny Smith. Maybe you grew up on Red Delicious or Macintosh. Whatever makes your taste buds happy, that's the apple you should start with. Why? Because you're far more likely to stick with something if you look forward to it. This isn't medicine. This is nourishment, pleasure, self-care. If biting into a fresh apple brings you a moment of joy, crunch, sweetness, the smell of childhood lunches or autumn walks, then that one apple a day becomes a gift, a ritual, a tiny anchor to something good. And that's powerful. Now let's talk about when to eat your apple. Here's a little secret I've learned from working with people over 60. The earlier in the day you eat it, the more consistent the habit becomes. Try this. Add it to your breakfast sliced into oatmeal, cereal, or yogurt. Keep one by the coffee pot, so it's the first thing you reach for after your morning cup. Or make it your mid-morning snack. When you feel that little hunger creeping in but don't want to, reach for something sugary or processed. If mornings aren't your thing, try building your apple into another daily routine. Maybe it's your after-lunch treat or part of your evening wind down. Some folks like to slice it up with a bit of peanut butter or almond butter as a healthy, protein-rich snack. Find a time that works for you. Then repeat it daily. Let it become your little ritual. Just like brushing your teeth. You'll stop thinking about it as something extra and start seeing it as something essential. And you'll begin to feel the difference. Now, I promised you some bonus tips, and I always keep my promises. So here are a few ways to get even more bone-loving power from your apple habit. 1. Always eat the peel. Remember what we said in Chapter 1? The peel is where most of the floridzin and flavonoids live. That's the stuff that holds on to calcium and supports your brain. So skip the peeling unless you absolutely have to. Just give it a good rinse under warm water, or scrub with a little baking soda if you're worried about pesticides. Or even better, buy organic if it's within your budget. That way you're getting all the good stuff without the extra chemicals. Point 2. Pair it with protein or healthy fat. When you eat an apple with a little nut butter, cheese, or even a handful of almonds, it slows down how quickly the sugars enter your bloodstream. That keeps your energy steady and supports your metabolism, both of which are good for your bones. Protein also supports muscle maintenance, which we talked about in Chapter 2. So when you combine an apple with something like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or nuts, you're doing double duty for your bone health. Point 3. Add apples to your cooking. Tired of eating apples raw? Let's get creative. Slice them into salads with spinach, walnuts, and a sprinkle of feta. Bake them with cinnamon and a little oats for a cozy, sugar-free dessert. Stir them into warm quinoa with a touch of maple and chopped pecans, or make a simple apple compote on the stove and spoon it over toast or pancakes. You don't have to eat them the same way every day. In fact, mixing it up helps keep your taste buds excited and your body nourished in new ways. Apples are one of the most versatile fruits out there. And once you start exploring, you'll realize how many delicious ways there are to get your daily dose. Now I want to take a moment from one friend to another and say this. If you're still listening, if you've made it this far, then I already know something about you. You care. About your health, your future, your ability to move through the world with strength and dignity. You're not giving up. You're not settling. You're still in the game. And I just want to say, I admire that. Because it's easy to feel like things are out of our hands as we get older. But the truth is, there's still so much we can do. Small things, simple things, powerful things like eating an apple every single day. It may not seem like much. But over time, that one apple becomes a symbol of something bigger. It's a promise. A quiet stand against weakness, fear, and decline. A little act of care that says, I matter. My body matters. My future matters. And the science backs it up. You're feeding your bones. You're calming inflammation. You're supporting your brain, your gut, your muscles. All from a humble apple. So what do you say? Will you take the first step? Next time you're at the grocery store or the farmer's market, I want you to pause for a moment. Walk over to the apple section. Pick one up. Feel its weight in your hand. Think about what it's doing for your body even before you take a bite. Then bring a few home. Wash one off. Take that first crisp, juicy bite. And smile. Because in that small moment you're reclaiming your health, rebuilding your bones, taking control of your story. Point 1 apple at a time. And I'll be right here cheering you on. You've got this.